They're gonna call me 929. I'm texting you the flyer right now. I'm texting the flyer to you right now. Intellectual Radio. Yep. Yes, sir. Okay, we live. Bring me in, comrade. Legacy will never be forgotten, y'all. Y'all just gonna come on in, y'all. Real talk. Bring me on in. Bring me on in. That's a lumping. Black Panther Party produced. And I'm talking about not musically, well, probably musically also, but literally and politically. The lumping. Real talk, y'all. All power to the people. Fremont live and direct, y'all. Bear with us. Excuse me, scratch that. Club with us. We're coming in a little late. You know what I'm saying? Let's get ready to make history, take history, and tape history. Matter of fact, scratch that. Let's continue to make history, take history, and tape history. That's what it is, y'all. Live and direct again. Fremont Radio. We on Intellectual Radio. Get them pens and papers ready, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Them tablets and all that you did. 929-477-3785. 929-477-3785. Press 1 to get in. Also 708-223-8953. Weekly program convened by convened by the Black Panther Party Cubs. Hosted by yours truly, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. and also Robert Allen, aka the Lady of Rage. Is co-host in the building? That's what it is, y'all. Let's get right into this here, y'all. Again, we still with no better intro than the legacy by the Lumpin'. The Lumpin' was a group that was it may have been musically, but also, but more important than that, politically produced by the Black Panther Party. You dig? I mean, they really, operated. You know what I'm saying? Was not only impacted but backed with the politics of the Black Panther Party. And there was no better intro. We coming in, y'all. We are still.
What was the name of the group one more time?
The Lumpin', Lumpen, the Lumpin', the Lumpin'. This is in respects to what is referenced to the Lumpin' proletarian. And the deal is that, you know, though there was some text from the flyer. There was some incorrect. Let's say it this way. I'd rather say it this way. Some assessments in regard to the Lumpin' class during the Black Power movement of the 60s. But the deal is, that in the Black Panther Party took a different position than, say, for example, the Marxist-Leninist theoreticians, whose position was those what they refer to when they reference the Lumpin', and other those who were on in the streets to hustle, the underground activities that and this is important to know, because in many cases when people relate to different schools of thought, people say, well, it doesn't make a difference where you come from. And it's not to say that something say particularly as right or wrong. It's not that simplistic, but it has to be, you have to take into account time. You have to take, especially in this country, race, class. And the deal is that many had, during the Black Power movement in the 60s, there was some who assessed that there was, as a matter of fact, that the Lumpin' would lead, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes even myself, early on in my political education, I you would think that, like the cats, on the streets, this would be like the lead of the revolution. However, the deal is we had reference the Lumpin' tendencies. And so the working class and peasants, I'm tripping when I'm talking about this. I'm flashing back with a conversation in one of the prisons, one of the concentration camps. And when I was rapping with Lawrence Lee, aka Big Law, and we was going through. We was having some political education classes after we got through getting out of the session in with the body punching. And I recall him saying, he said, well, how is it that I'm lumping and you working class? That's all I'm tripping flashback on this discussion with Lawrence. Long live Big Law. But the deal is, with the contradictions that with the lumping tendencies, and this, I go step by step with this because a lot of times we have these political summations. It's premature for those. Not, what I'm saying, because the deal is, like, even forced me ask, well, what does this term mean? What does this term? I said, well, let's go through some stages in the game before we have certain discussions. It's like, in fact, some books we don't recommend. In fact, we prohibit with certain forces, because if you don't have a basis of the meal before you start talking about these desserts and like a relationship, you come in prematurely with some contradictions. You must say, whoa, wait a minute, man, we can't deal. We can't. I know that you snore at night. You know what I'm saying? And, so it has to be a basis first. So back to the point at hand, the lumping, the setback or the country with the lumping. We have to be cautious of romanticizing it, be leadership, is that also the conditions that they have been like conditioned to sell off a petty interest. So the deal is, we struggle to distinguish the working class and that of the petty bourgeoisie, but also to classify lumping with the lumping tendencies. And the lumping again was the group that the black, and just it's so imperative that we really respect and recognize that stage in the game. I mean, everything's political. Words, terms, names of group, you name it. And in many cases, we have to work with. To go in is, like I was just having a discussion earlier with someone. I was saying, we're not afforded, our mosque or the church to reinforce our political, our political ideology, our frame of reference. And to that stage in the game, we have to grab certain different dynamics and, say, okay, when people, to get the conversation rolling, So that's what we get with this here. We live and direct, y'all. Let's make history. Let's take history, and let's tape history. Number of things on the platter. You dig? Today, there's a hearing in regards to the home of Emmett Till being marked as to be granted landmark status. There also was I'll put this also in the conversation when it was exposed at the Great Cemetery on the far south side of Chicago. How many of the bodies were removed? They couldn't find about Emmett Till's casket remains were one of those bodies. Also, tomorrow we'll be going to the chambers, the village chambers in Maywood, Illinois, at 7 p.m. for the hearing in regards to having the house of Chairman Fred Hampton marked as historical landmark status. So we'll keep y'all abreast of that. We are still yes, indeed, we are still too proletarian, revolutionary, intoxicated to be astronomically intimidated. In other words, we are still high up the people of the phenomenal event acknowledging this what would have been the 72nd birthday of Deputy Chairman Fred Hampton. And let me extend a clenched fist salute to the comrades, to the communities, to the people that made this and pull this off. Phenomenal event. I'm also, so the comrade, we gonna look up for some calls that come in from New York, and I think Jersey. Ron Stiles, Rebel Diaz, and also Andre, the artist with the phenomenal mural that who gave us. They said they can pull it off before the 30th. And I said, okay, now don't touch the initial mural of Chairman Fred on Madison, California, unless we can get a commitment that's gonna be pulled off. And did they pull it off? You know what I'm saying? So y'all look at the flyer again, that top right corner. That's the mural, the redid wall, the redid mural. On this Rod texting now. Let me see, it might be on. Is this him? Okay, he's online on hold. Free them all. Right on. We got him on deck.
Free them all. Brother Andre is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Brother Andre is on the line.
Okay. Andre and Rod, both of them online, or just welcome. Welcome to Freedom Radio. We hear you loud and clear. Is this Andre? This Andre?
Yes, it is.
Freedom All, welcome again to Freedom All Radio. Good to have you. I was just just speaking up on y'all. Let me premise with this. I think Rob might be calling in too. He might be on live. If he's on live, we'll bring him in also. The old saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Action is supreme. Minister UEP Newton says, and we want to add to that, a mural is worth a million. The wall, the initial 10 years ago, the inspiration that this wall has provided for the people, for the community, came on the heels of the fight to have the street named after Chairman Fred, in which City Hall, the Fraternal Order Police fought tooth and nail. That wall is, again, not only has provided inspiration with myself, my family, my comrades from the occasions, the people in general. It's the Chicago winter ain't no joke. Everybody knows it's been, so the weather's beating it up. So shout out to Dosick, Chile that came in, Roll Rubber Diaz came with facilitating that. The timing, 10 years later, and the deal is revolutionary, as Minister UEP said, the revolutionary is never satisfied. A few months back at the opportunity to meet Andre, he brought a painting and donated that to the Hampton House. And then we got this latest word that they working on. They can get here before the 30th. Driving up with his son, I'm talking coming up from the East Coast and getting it done. I was like, I said, well, no, y'all can get it, y'all can have it done before the 30th. I mean, the commitment rolled down, going straight in. I'm talking about, and I mean, we send the text pictures and, and I don't want to do too much talk. I don't want too much talk, because really, when you have a piece such as this, really, it ain't too much to be. Too much talking has to be done. But we want it's a revolutionary appreciation. People just, I'm seeing other comrades' face when we pull it up, and let me say this: that was a job in itself. We struggled to keep that under the covers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know, the community grapevine is something else. Then add to that, you got social media. I kind of catch myself a couple of times while they were in the process of doing this, of film, watching the paint of Chairman Fred without showing the rest of it. The other groups that came, other organizations out, you know what I'm saying? Clench fist salute to all y'all. I'm scared to mention someone. I know I missed somebody, but everything from the movie projected to the donations, the resource, the last minute call, that to pull this off, the deepest revolutionary appreciations. And again, his son, he came up here, went straight at it. Full force, hit it. The champion. Those who have not had the opportunity to see it, the background, the skyline, beautiful. Deputy Chairman Fred Hampton, Defense Captain Mark Clark, who also was assassinated December 4th, 1969. Deputy Minister of Health, Ronald Doc Satchel, who we told Chairman would say, Chairman had a speech in July 68, I believe it was, saying, if you're sick, don't go down to Cook County Hospital. You go down there with a common cold, you come up dead, just go happen somebody needed your sex organs, your brain tissue. Come see Dr. Feelgood. Come see Deputy Minister of Health, Ronald Doc Satchel. Powerful image of Doc Satchel up there. Akua and Jerry, well, then known as Deborah Johnson, just turned 19 years old after being on the run. Yes, going underground. A lot of people don't know this. The party position, people say, well, the grand jury want to talk to them so they can help find how you can press charges. The party structure. So you say, well, I got a baby. I can't be underground. Man, held the party line through and through. Held the party line. You know what I'm saying, man? What's the position? What's the, Well, I don't understand. We can't talk to, talk to this police to ask me. We won't know. Held the party line. An image of her, myself as a youngster. So when she doing the interview, and I was doing some unofficial speaking back then too. Then you know what I'm saying. But that picture is there. Also, another approach of Chairman Fred speaking. With that being said, we open up the lines. Hey, y'all, hey, wherever you at, man, try to look at the pictures if you didn't come see it yourself. We got these forces online with us right now who done it. I want their contacts put out there. Clench fist salute. You know what I'm saying? Commandante Ernesto Che Guevara had assessed that the role of the propagandist is as important as the guerrilla. I got a phone call. Got a few phone calls. Let me thank the people. People's on deck. They're like, man, hold on. Who is these people touching? When they first start, you got to cover it. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, that's organizing. You got to destroy to rebuild. They was covering, and people was in the uproar. All the phone calls, texts. Oh man, who was touching the wall? I didn't know the support. The people was coming out, so we said, no, it's good, they own it. Some other individual, he come, well, man, I work for this person, and we want to get somebody else to do this other wall. We have an artist that does portraits for the police station and so on. I said, we got the artist. We good. The spirit of it also, because like I said, even with the movie, with this Hollywood, the acting, people say, well, what about character? We say, well, there is character in character. So even with the artists, we dialogue before this. We had some conversations, some, saying, intense. So again, y'all who have not seen it, go back and see it. If you can't get to Chicago, check it out. Welcome to Freedom Radio. What's going to talk to us, man? What's your thoughts? How you feel about it? What I mean, we
I'm still riding high from the experience, brother. Like it meant so much to me to be there and to be able to add my part to to the history, and to be able to give that to the west side of Chicago and to the people there, and for all that the Panthers gave all of us, that's I feel like this is the least I could do. So it was a humbling experience. Getting to meet Mama Akua.
Yeah.
I was only spoken to her on the phone prior to this visit, so it was breathtaking to me, man. And then to be able to share it with my son, who a lot of it went over his head, but I'm sure as he gets older, he'll be able to reflect back on that.
Yes. Without giving us into your trip. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it is remarkable. And I hate that I wasn't there to experience the whole day in its glory and everything. But when I saw it, and I literally got teary-eyed because it was just so. And when Chairman talked about it last week, I was just thinking that it was going to be refurbishing and weatherproofing and whatnot. But to see Mama Ford, Defense Captain Mark Clark, Minister Doc Satchel, Chairman Fred, to see, and even Chairman Jr., it was just such a tribute to those who fought in the struggle for revolution, and those, it's still those that are that still fighting the fight, but those who laid the blueprint down, who footsteps, and it's just such a fitting tribute to them, and it's a beautiful thing. So I can only imagine what it looked like up close and personal. This is just me seeing it off, technology on the phone, on Facebook, things like that, and it was beautiful. And so I just know what it looked like up, live and direct.
Yes, indeed.
It's definitely very powerful. It's one of the larger pieces they've done. I was a little nervous, as Chairman said, going into it, the idea that it had to be done in a few days, and I knew all that was riding on it, so it was a lot of pressure, but I was confident, and the whole process felt great. Shout out to Rod Stars for making everything happen. From the first road to this one. And shout out to Daisy Fernandez for setting the bar so high.
Yes.
And man, I'm super proud of the work he did.
You mentioned how large it was. You mentioned how large it is. And then even Rod Styles, the initially the first move they had the scaffold, but this one they had to get the what is it? What is it? What's the piece?
Boom lift.
The who?
A boom lift.
A boom lift.
A boom lift.
Boom lift.
They have scissor lift, but this one is it's almost like a cherry picker type of thing, but it goes up about 34 feet.
You was up there, and I remember and just when I was locked up one time, they said we're gonna send you up the. I said send me whatever gallery you want to send me on, and I mean I was going up to 7 gallery. I said whoa, I said it's kind of happened there, but without giving us trademark secrets, what like it was certain things that even me and Ron Styles was tripping off about you, like it would be like from the naked eye or those who not in the know, it's like little scribbles on or like points on a wall. What your like markers and stuff like how yeah, please.
Yeah. So that process was actually something I just used for the first time on this wall. It's known as the scribble technique, and quite a few portrait artists that do murals and large scale things have been using this process where you just make any kind of marks. It doesn't matter the marks you make. Then what you do is you take a photo of that with your phone, and there's different apps that you can drop that into to then put, say, the original photo of Chairman Fred. I could drop that over the wall with the little markings, and it gives me a grid to base it off of, so I'm not starting from scratch. If that makes sense. So it helps in terms of, working at that scale. It's a lot of guesswork until you get the first marks really in a good place. Then everything else can be based off of those marks. But this helps you to get those marks and to just, it helped me to shave a lot of time off the process. So I was glad to have tried it. I made me a little nervous because I hadn't used it before, but I was confident having seen another friend do it, and I figured it would work, and it did, luckily.
You pulled it off. What's all the previous other pieces that you've done before? I've seen Muhammad Ali. I said, what's some other pieces you've done before? And also, before I want to make sure where we can view those pieces at. Also, make sure that we view those pieces at.
Well, I'll start with some of the other pieces. So I've done a few Muhammad Ali. I've done up here in the Bronx. I've done Cool Herc. I've done Grandmaster Cass, Melly Mel. I've done
major pioneers in hip hop. For those who not know.
A lot of hip hop players. A lot of hip hop people out in Queens. He did it for Chavez. Oh yeah. Oh, Rod is in here.
Yes, indeed. Who did Rod say? Who did?
Brothers.
Yes. And salute, man. Who did you say? He just said someone else you did.
Oh, he was saying I did a mural of Hugo Chavez at the point from a visit he made to the point where he had donated low cost heating oil to the people of the Bronx.
Wow.
And also had donated a lot of money to small business incubators right there in the Bronx as well.
Ironically, I think it was around the time of Hurricane. There's several cases, but I think one occasion I think it was around what we refer to as Hurricane America, like people call Hurricane Katrina, the attack in New Orleans. So it was intense. It was intense crisis that the people was going. You know what I'm saying? He came. Hugo Chavez that came through. We on the heels going on the 15th year next year. Right. When he tried to donate the oil the first time. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, he visited the Bronx on September 18th of 2005. So you're 100% right. It was right after Katrina. So he identified Hunts Point, the neighborhood I lived in for like 20 years, as the poorest congressional district in the U.S., and that's why he visited. So the mural that Andre did was in honor of that visit, and also in honor of all the help that he gave to the Bronx. So
So you're right.
When we were talking to him about doing the new one, I was like, man, I got my brother Andre. He's dope and he's committed, and it was the perfect person to make it happen.
Sure, right. Yes, indeed. The Ali photo, the details of the sweat beads on his face, and I even early on discussion, I said, hey, I asked you about the chairman. I see, are you gonna have his the dimple in there? He said, I'm already on it, and I overheard some people looking at the mural, and they said, got that dimple. I started laughing. I said, yeah.
That was the talk of the town. The dimple sealed it all for people.
Yes. It's something that people, when you embrace people, that sealed the deal. Real talk. I overheard a lot of people comment about that. Yeah, yes, indeed.
Yeah, for me, I always try and capture the emotion in people's face, and Chairman Fred had such warmth in his eyes and in his expression.
Yes.
And I needed that to come across.
Yeah, you definitely done. You definitely did. Definitely did. Definitely did. Definitely
Hey,
did.
Chairman, just to share that, all of this started with a conversation in Detroit. We was at the U.S. Social Forum,
Put it
and
in context.
like
Yes,
you said earlier, they had just denied the street naming.
correct.
And I remember I was touching base with you, like, yo, how you been? And you was telling me, that they had just denied the street.
Yes.
And I feel like that's the power of hip hop. I remember being like, yo, like, let's just do a mural. Like, a street sign is mad small. Let's do a big mural. And, that combo is really what set it off. You know what I mean? Being able to do that. And so I'm just glad that we was able to connect in 2010. And here we are 10 years later, and the second mural up. And I feel like it just shows you the power of art. And like you said, in propaganda, and being able to, just share those ideas and that energy off the wall. There's folks that were stopping by, folks getting off the bus, elders walking by, dudes that ride their bike, that pulling over, that drive to work, and see it every day. And so I'm glad that was able to be able to be updated and renewed. And I think it was a perfect time for us. So I really appreciate, you being trusting us to do it for a second time. Man, much love.
I'm getting some coffee.
Have you all ever come up against any negative responses to any of the murals that you all have done, like especially the revolutionary ones? Anybody who may have, he was about this, and he was against that, he was violent, he was this and that. Have you all ever had any protesting any of the murals that you all have done?
It's funny you asked. So the one that Ross spoke on that we did previously together was the Hugo Chavez mural, and that mural went up with very little issues. It was only supposed to be up for a year, and at about the 10th month, things kind of went crazy, and this woman started a whole campaign to have the mural removed, and then shortly after that, people started throwing paint on it, and I went back to touch it up once or twice, and they just kept at it. But like I said, at that point, it was only supposed to be up a little while longer, so they felt like it didn't make sense for me to continue to try to fix it. But had it been a more permanent mural, I would have, tried to find another way to make it work. But just to not give in to that kind of action.
Right.
That's great. Yeah, right.
That just shows the power of the community defend the Chairman Fred mural, because I'm sure there's folks that aren't happy about that mural going up, but they also fear the community's going to defend it. And I feel like the difference with the Bronx is that I feel like the Bronx was able to defend it, but at the end of the day, we didn't have enough forces really, really defend it. Like the folks that were against it were, they were funded. It was like we ended up doing some research into it, and there was actually a Cuban woman, that was anti-Castro, and then she was also anti-Chavez. And so she kept driving up like every night, and a couple nights we were able to defend it, and we posted up, but we just didn't have the people power to defend it, and that was eventually led to the decision to just not, Andre couldn't keep, fixing it, and they kept messing it up. So that was a loss, but I think it also shows the flip side of what happens. We do have people power, and nobody is gonna touch that Chairman Fred because they know that it would lead to problems.
Yes, that I'm thinking back to. I'm glad. A great question. In great summation. Because a lot of times we see situations that we just draws a foregone conclusion that there wasn't no bumps no bumps in the road. That Rod, you mentioned earlier, like even the situation, the fight that is in the street name after Chairman Fred, which we have fought for that. And then we was in Detroit, we sat down, we talked about that, and the hit we took with the Fraternal Auto Police. But also, I want to say this for our listener audience and for the people, and for history's sakes. Even in struggles, the deal is to heighten the contradiction. So even when it's in the case in the Bronx with Hugo Chavez, and I think it's imperative that people be very clear that we have a discussion. Like, well, why is it that you know what I'm saying? Because we're told in our community just to detach the different dynamics, to look at art for art's sake, or the gun for the gun's sake. Why is it, certain organizations, come on the attack without the gun? Why is it certain, murals and, kind of attack? I get my guy, he's locked up now, Chew. It's a song, Black America, has me, face, Scarface and some others on it. And we just talking about how, YouTube was trying to ban it. He was saying, man, why? He said he get all this other stuff on there, YouTube, people shooting, sex, everything. But this is a problem. And we really have to struggle to, to really have the discussion, the threat of, art that's reflective of the people's, coming from the people's perspective. And the tactics they have went to, they will go to stop self-determination. I mean, we got word they try to pay certain individuals off on the west side to destroy the wall. We get the community involved. We had 10 years ago, we had rotating forces, different street organizations. You know what I'm saying? People would come up and say, "Well, what shift y'all got?" And you hear, "Oh, the vice lords, they got that shift. The disciples they get the next 10-hour shift. Watching out for it. It was really something. And then there were attempts for different petty bourgeoisie representatives to say, "Well, let's put all the black leaders up there on the wall." And I recall, so wait a minute. I said, we can't have nothing. I said, y'all had no. This, mind you, this is in the area, that none of the politicians made no mention of Chairman Fred before, you know what I'm saying? And so, the deal is, once we start mobilizing, as Malcolm said, they said, "We can't stop it, co-opt it, take it over, to take away that of self-determination." It just shows you what we are capable of doing, and that's we have to be able to stop, drop, and roll. We got the word 10 years ago about the initial mural. Wallace Davis, saying, proud of Wallace's Catfish. He said, "Well, which one you want?" I said, we want to get the one that's facing the masses, and straight at it, and then even this, Andre had a skeleton layout, how you gonna move it, because Rob was saying, send us the pictures, get the, who's on the phone, send the pictures. But then when he got the skeleton, the structure was there also to be able to improvise. We said we get this other empty space over there. How we gonna move with this? And he goes and get this other picture of Chairman Fred up there. And again, it was just, man, I'm on cloud 1,000. I'm just even the process of it, the dialogue of it. You know what I'm saying? Just, and you think about, and also for the record, let's put this in context. The climate, a coronavirus, everything that's going on, to the commitment. One young lady that came up and she approached all of us, and she was like, "Who is this?" And she really, kind of dismissive about, she said, because her whole aim of the conversation was to get something drawn for her party or something like that. And not to negate that, but to really say what calls for the commitment, for individual to grab his son and drive up, New York. What calls for commitment for last minute, Roz, on social media and put a call, and people say, "Okay, hold on." And there was some contradictions. That's not. There's no roads, no picture of the garden. Everything is beautiful. There was some contradictions with different organizations, and Ron, they laid out. I mind you, we had to make certain moves because stuff's still moving. Like similar to the last mural being drawn, I had to leave at one point because someone got shot on 80-something Halsted at night. I had to leave that night. This case, I had to go bounce to Kenosha, Wisconsin, in case of Jacob Blake. But we couldn't just say stop progress, stop from the move.
Mm-hmm.
They continued to work, and then even certain forces came there, and you know what I'm saying. And when they got there, well, I don't deal with this group, I don't deal with this group. We get word back. Rob he's laying out the force. Well, this is about Chairman Fred. So this is some points of unity we can come to on this. And we have to acknowledge that, because a lot of times we try to romanticize the struggle, like, oh yeah, everybody, when we gonna come together? We're not going to be all together on points. Points of unity. And no community has ever been. However, when you find some points of unity that we can mobilize, the sky's the limit. To the energy, when people's coming up to the movies, the food, the water, and also that's committing to continuing to network. This is because the deal. We're not talking about being a one-hit wonder. You know what I'm saying? The ongoing. So when we done this together, let's let's flesh this out, make some future moves. I'm drinking some coffee right now too. The last image was sent to me. I told Rod, I said, man, early in the morning, they was texting me. Him and Andre, I said they hit me one time about 6:30 in the morning. I said, ooh man, I said, I don't even need my coffee right now. That's my morning wake up. And they said, well, that's our morning wake up. Your response is our morning wake up, And I try to hold fast from, I told the other forces, y'all keep riding through, checking, make sure they good. I didn't want to, have my presence too much on the scene, you know what I'm saying? But again, it is, man, I got to go back through there tonight. I'm talking again, whenever I go through battle fatigue, just to go through there, man. And like even symbolisms, we talk about this with the Hampton House, Napoleon, when they shot the Sphinx, the nose of the Sphinx, it was a strategic move, and I remember like even the street trials in Chicago when the El Rukin headquarters was raided, the fort was raided. I remember hearing stories. I remember seeing individuals going down there. They was tearing down take one brick from that building, and just you can see people going put this again. It's so stories are coming out, and the timing is phenomenal. Timing, is phenomenal. So again, we live and direct y'all on Freedom Radio and Intellectual Radio. 708-223-8953, 929-477-3785. Press 1. You know what I'm saying? Pictures worth 1,000 words. Action is supreme. A mural is worth 1,000,000 words. Yes, indeed.
I love that. I love that quote. I love that thing.
Go on. Well, you love the quote. I come up with. I add on. I come up with some. I came with the end part, but I work best with something to work with, and that mural is something to work with. Yes, indeed, it's an inspiration. Yes, indeed.
Yes, it is. Do you all have any upcoming projects that you all are working on, like different states or in New York where you all are? Anything coming up that we should know about, or if you can give us your social media addresses that you can give us, and we can follow your work.
Sure. My social media is Andre_Trenier. The last name is TRENIER. And my website is also AndreTrenier.com.
If one of our listeners on Facebook can type that in while he's saying that.
So Rod and I have spoken about several murals that we might get into going forward. I'm trying to continue a series of murals on Black fatherhood and just showing, controlling the narrative and showing us in ways that we're not usually shown. Moments of tenderness, just trying to control that narrative as best I can and help change that view. I'm supposed to be doing 2 more murals here in the Bronx, based on Norman Rockwell paintings, but updating them to speak about our struggles specifically.
Yes, indeed. Listen, Diane, Fred Malik for them all. Could both of y'all say
I think I already followed in Rebel DM.
Could both of y'all their handles again? Yeah. So I want somebody to type it in while they say it. Give y'all handles again, please, one time. So our people can type it in. Type it on Facebook. Y'all get your handles.
Okay. Mine is Andre_Trenier. That's ANDRE_TRENIER. And the website is AndreTrenier.com.
And then ours is at Rebel Diaz. REBELDIAZRPS.
Unfortunately.
Right on. We live and direct. Revolutionary love and appreciation. We thank y'all.
Much appreciated.
Yes, indeed. The airways are always open for y'all. So,
go ahead, Jim.
The airways are always open. Whatever y'all got going on, feel free to hit us up. Again and again, revolutionary love, respect, and appreciations. Again, that's phenomenal. I gotta go give me another shot in the arm tonight. I gotta stop at a wall again tonight. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
And does Rebel Diaz have any new music coming out?
Start the project. It's a collaboration project. Rebel Diaz and Tef Toe out of Ferguson. And the project is called Multiply. So that's on all the platforms out right now. It's Rebel Diaz and Tef Toe. Matter of fact, we got our chairman's in one of our videos that we dropped like a
drop that video on the 18th. Yeah, I remember that the day I recall we went to go do it. Yes, indeed. Yeah, yep. On 18th Street. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a Black and Brown Power project, really.
It's fine.
That's out. It was out in volume 2 like in the next couple weeks. That should be out soon.
Okay.
It's fire.
Yeah.
It's fire.
And then we have a kids book. We have a children's book called The ABCs of Hip Hop that we did in collaboration with an amazing artist out of the Bronx called Nicer, the Cat Crew, and that's coming out on Haymarket Books. They picked us up on the publishing test, so it's I'm a father. I got a little 5-year-old, and so I've been just wishing that there was better children's books that represent our community. But look out for that dropping in early 2021. That's the ABCs of Hip Hop. So a little bit, hitting them from different angles, music, little children's books, just building.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
That had them all empty.
Say we got calls?
No, I was just saying you gotta hit them from all angles.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
No, I was just saying you gotta hit them from all angles.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, that's the only way. You got to keep creating. You know what I mean?
I just when you just say just when you're serving 5 years old, I'm just thinking about different like markers and our in time and history. Like when you talk about the wall, 10 years old, it's just it's I'm just flashing back on the history. You know what I'm saying? To have these like markers in our life, man. Yeah, so. I appreciate you, appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Again, revolutionary love and respect. Also not just y'all, also to both of you all's respective families, and people around in your circles, because the deal is, none of us operate in a vacuum. And like I said, to open this stage in the game, to bounce out, make these moves and have people in your arenas that's understanding. You know what I'm saying? Again, revolutionary love and appreciation, man. Great, man. Good moves, great moves, man. Let's continue to up the ante, man. Let's continue to up the ante. And you a phenomenal birthday present for Chairman Fred. Just even. We actually on our flyers we had Saturday to be announced. We didn't have planned what we was going to do, and I got word. I said, "Oh man, they got me. This going down in Wisconsin. Got to head up there." And I'm glad we get up there because we just seen. I was saying we got to get up there before they take the fire out the fight. Because they're gonna send these political firemen up there to water it down. And sure enough, I got word. They sent some the usual suspects up there to try to take the fight out of it. I said we got to get it while it's hot. And we made that move. And y'all, held it down, and we had to do what we call an octopus tactic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there'd be 8 places and more. At one time, and like, and to be in this, like we don't have the set 9 to 5 schedule. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't. The cases of Kizzy, what's in Los Angeles just now? Is it Dejon Kizzy in Los Angeles, the case of Jacob Blake, Breonna Taylor. We can't, so we don't, we know it's going to happen. We don't have the specifics of what location was going to be the high case. And so we have to be able to, be able to stick and move and address these moves, on a moment's notice. And like I said, and we got a relationship with forces who we get there, stop, drop, and roll. We ain't got to go, back and forth on, man, ego tripping, whatever, man. We know we good at this. Hey, you know what it is? We had back and forth. What do you think this is? Stick and move, man. So again, revolutionary love and respect, y'all. Hey, Andre and Ross in building.
Share the news. On Monday in Kilton, Chicago Police Department killed a 26-year-old young man by the name of Miguel Vega. He got killed by undercover police officers that rolled up on him in an unmarked car on the 1300 block of West 19th Street. So definitely something to keep on.
We gotta get on, yeah.
Tonight. You know, like usual, the police narrative is they said that he had a gun, but his family and everybody that was there says that he didn't have a gun, and that he got shot. He got shot in the back of the head.
What?
Keep right in Chicago,
Miguel Vega. What you said? What's 19? What's the address again? Get this from me, y'all. Somebody get this from me. 1300 block West 19th Street. That's 19th and shit.
Yeah.
True. Okay. 13.
Right before Ashland.
Right off Ashland. Okay, Pills. Yeah. Okay, get there for. Do you know what time the visual is tonight?
I think the visual it might be going on right now.
Okay, we gonna get this.
I'll connect you up. I'm flying out to the folks who thought Daddy was mine.
Say it again.
No, I'm connected to the folks.
Give me the contact. Let's keep this momentum going. Get that connect, get that a contact person. I'm gonna try to get through there. Get some forces over there, no doubt about it, man. This back to back, man. You know, so this is and it's been going on, but it's code red. I mean, you know, consistently, you know, and we have to be able to, you know, go on the corner, get a shot of water, keep on swinging. We have to be principal coalitions, scientific relationships. I'm talking about, man, we cannot afford the luxury to set trip. I'm talking about, man, I mean, hitting us on the east side, west side, you know what I'm saying, Louisiana, Detroit, LA, you know what I'm saying, you know, and it's terrible, but the fine thing is, the ante is up. Ain't no more of this. Well, what did this person do? We're not even giving that no life, you know what I'm saying, this sidetrack, and we are clear. They making it clear. As we say, the emperor has no clothes on. I mean, this whole climate that trickles down with the Trump era up front. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can even look at the news reporters now when they just even a facial expression when ladies say they say he had a bicycle violation. I mean, it's hard. It's difficult for them to even. I mean, they even sell a snake oil. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even. So we at a terrible but fine stage in the game, and we can't let up. You know what I'm saying? We can't let up. I know some of my forces be on me like, you can't make all the moves though. It's just so. I was trying to get to LA recently. You know what I'm saying? It's just something with this climate right now to be. It's inspiring that, you know what I'm saying, again, to have these type of to acknowledge this, because, you know what I'm saying, it's one thing to be under attack, but be told don't talk about it. Other people can't relate to it. You know what I'm saying? Again, we got to keep this momentum, this resistance, and be very clear what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And as the Black Panther Party had assessed that the police are occupying army in our communities. You know what I'm saying? So let's be clear on that, y'all. Real talk. So those who can get over there on 19th Street, free them all, man. Love right back at y'all, man. Don't forget to get that contact to me also, right there, from over there. Yeah, but I'm getting some forces over there now, as we speak.
I'm gonna text you right now. I got you.
Show you right.
I'm gonna text you right now.
Show you right. Y'all heard that live and directed update. Y'all heard who we had here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I mean, those go check the art, go check the mural out, y'all. You know what I'm saying? If those who not seen it. I mentioned the Jean Kizzy, LA. They LAPD. I mean, this is not from this is from the pig's mouth. They're saying, initial stop was called for a bicycle violation. Put that in context. I mean, the climate of the state acknowledging the death of the pandemic, the coronavirus, the audacity of, again. Now people say, well, maybe that means something else in Los Angeles. Maybe you're talking about It's some deep, that's another code word for some big law, some big danger to the community. A so-called bike violation. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Coles.
Oh, and then I was gonna say, and then they didn't know. It was asked like, what violation did he? What was the violation? And they couldn't even tell him what violation was broken.
Right.
They couldn't tell him what he broke.
Yes.
20 shots. It warranted 20 shots in the back. And and then people always say, "Oh, well, he had a gun. He had a gun." Yeah, was he shooting a gun? They got guns too. Was he shooting it? Did he pick it up? Did he point it? He reached for it. That's always one of the go-to. Do I fear for my life and this and that? Just because you have a gun, and you see so many things where white people will walk away with their lives. And
just now,
his name came up, huh?
Just the other day, in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The guy who shot the two people, whose mother drove him up there with the assault rifle. The images, police giving him water and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yes,
you have instances where like Kyle Rittenhouse, he getting water, he gets Dylan Roof getting taken, lunch, wherever he got taken to, Wendy's or whatever. The dude that shot up the movie, the church and all the movie theater. Like I said last week, these same people come away with their lives, and these people have committed murder. And you violating a bike, you walking away from me. It's not, it's the audacity. How that you do what I tell you to do, boy. You come back and you don't walk away from me. You don't run from me. You don't make me run after you. But a white person can do it. I saw something the other day where this white man came out the house with a hammer in his hand. And they didn't do nothing to him. Now, if it was in the black man's hand, that would have been a lethal weapon, and the cop had no choice but to, use deadly force because he feared for his life. A hammer. This man walked up on him. It's another instance where the man chased the cop down, took the car, and drove off. Now, one bullet was fired. And he walked away with his life. But, nah, when it's us, it's totally different. And it's just, after a while, the thread begins to become unraveled and it's going to snap. And if it snaps, it's just going to be, hell to pay.
Well, the ground is hot now. I mean, again, it's organic and it's non-organic resistance happening out there. It's a different type. You know what I'm saying? That's for anything. That's for anything. That's what. So there are no perfect allies. There's no perfect struggles. But the deal is that people not even giving their life. People not even talking about when they come out that same old narrative of a person had a gun. People not even giving their life. You know what I'm saying? And it's good and it's being up. You know what I'm saying? Because again, this we refer to this sidetracking of the slave. Beating Rodney King. The question, was he speeding or not? You know what I'm saying? Became the dominant conversation. You know what I'm saying? And you always had different incidents of, people like the case of Malice Green in Detroit, Michigan, where they say he was having cocaine. And people say, we don't care if he's having heroin. Don't convict them police to see what happened. In the case of Mike Brown, where they came, the day prior, he's supposed to be taking these cigars at the store, and people say they didn't give it no life, but you have a narrative across the board now. Where the responses, even if it's in a reactionary way, even if there are mistakes being made, they made on our terms, and we relate to the sentiments of Commandante Ernesto Che Guevara when he assessed that there be 1,000 Vietnams. The opposition is that there be 1,000 Ferguson, let there be 1,000 Mike Brown towns. You know what I'm saying? So again, and it's being up. Mm-hmm. And it's being up. So I meant to reach out to Adam in Los Angeles to get him to call in and some other from this whole case in LA, you know what I'm saying, about Dejan Kizzy. Yes, indeed.
And I wanted to add, I Googled his name came up, and then right after that it said Dejan Kizzy's criminal record. And a lot of times, another thing, like when it's us, it's the criminal. Oh, he had many brushes with the law, troubled ex-convict, blah blah blah, this and that. When it's a white person, oh, he was a loner. Oh, he Kyle Rittenhouse, he was a police admirer. You know, all these beautiful terms for them. Oh, he just needed a hug and blah blah blah. But when it's us, it's yeah, this is this ain't nothing new with them. He was in trouble, so that warrants get him out of here. Is that what that means? So even the language when they talk about it, it's totally different.
No doubt, no doubt,
the way they preface it.
No doubt. Chief, we did nothing. Did it right. John Kizzy, right? Did nothing. Right on. Okay, we get some updates. I'm reading some kids. Kids at the vestry giving some background on his dad. Had been locked up 20 years. Wow. Okay. The updates at the vestry saying that his dad had been locked up 22 years. He knows not to interfere with the gang police. And I'm glad that point was made. This is in regards to John Kizzy. Even case of Jacob Blake. When I touched down with his father, I said, a lot of contrary, a lot of people, you'll be surprised. Some people have been informed at the, saying, but like people say, why would he walk away? Why would he walk away from the police? Saying everybody has not been fed this propaganda. The police are your friends. They come to get cats out of trees. Many people have been, fortunate and unfortunate to get a one-on-one lesson about who the police are. I mean, least contact as possible. I recall coming back in from out of town one time, and the bus hadn't come, and I was coming from walking with my suitcase, my luggage, and from the train. It was early, like probably 1 something in the morning. So the police they swarming down. We in Inglewood, they swoop back around on me. They jump out. So one of them they pull out they got the lights. They jump out, run up on me. The arrogant young pig. Where you going? So I got two and a half suitcases in my hand, one bag around. Okay. So you say he put his hand on my chest. He say, with your heart beating, why your heart beating so fast? I said, man, I don't know why my heart would be beating fast. 8 police cars pull up on me. I said, I don't know what's his arrogance. He really didn't think I was being sarcastic. I said, I don't know why I would be thinking something, concerned. 8 police cars. Well, we got a call. You're gonna take you over here. So if you ain't done it, you ain't gonna worry about it. So back of my mind, I'm thinking like, how many people in Stateville and Pontiac and Attica and they heard that before, they don't end up on death row somewhere. So they back and forth, some demand, what's the name, so on and so forth. I'm trying to stall for some time so some people can come out and see what's going on. So they finally give me the car. And so they pulled me around to the scene. So when they superiors, you see me in the car, oh man, get them up out of here. Get so on and so forth. This troublemaker, you going to a thing. So, but I was thinking, I say, man, and it's natural to us, to some of us, the role that the police play. You know what I'm saying? It's a, like I said, looking in, a lot of people from the white community as well as those in the black community. Some people they really can't grasp it. Like I tell people, they call it coded. You have to speak coded language to white people. I say to some black people, you have to do that. I say though they they've experienced it, the way they view it. Like I say, no black person like they talk, even I haven't read it with Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court. He told his how his encounters with racism. You know what I'm saying? And now the question, how do they deal with it? How they, what I'm saying? Because it's an old saying, when the Rome do as the Romans do. And a lot of people do that, but I said we still rap with Hannibal of Carthage. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that people, a lot of people cannot relate to. You know what I'm saying? Why would you get? And a lot of people they block it out. You know what I'm saying? That with fear or what have you, or attempt to assimilate. But when you see many of us, we walk away or try to get divorced from any contact, It's like, it's like going, saying in Vietnam, and saying, you say, why would the Vietnamese, so why they just don't talk to the American soldiers, the French soldiers, that whole dynamic of not just, or even you try to value the conversation to well, this person is a good soldier, that impact of, that passed down from generation to generation with the history. I was talking to someone earlier today, and they were saying something, they were going to go in, they were going to change the system from within. They were going to become a police. And I said, wow, yes, you a hell of a motherfucker. And she was like, yeah, I was thinking, she goes, okay, you go. I said, in this climate, this stage in the game. And the brother who had called on the phone, he said, I wanted to talk to you, Chairman. I get this a lot, I said, here we go again. I said, Marilyn Monroe, everybody want to just pull over for a conversation. I said, you get it this time. I say, so what, help me out. What gives you the delusion of grandeur it's something about that I don't know about that, you can, this institution. And she said, yeah, I'm just saying, I just thinking that we can change. And I asked her, I said, do you know the birth of the police? And she said, what you mean? I said, the inception. And she said, what it was designed to do, what the infrastructure, what the purpose of it. And she said, no, enlighten me. I said, the police, the initial police was slave patrol. That was it. Saying? That was the capture runaway slaves. And the deal is to come in now. Maybe I tell people maybe it's something I don't know that other people have, but to at least acknowledge what you're dealing with. Like people talk about, Hollywood. I said, do you know the purpose of Hollywood? Even the particular the tree, the holly tree, the wood that it comes from. The purpose. The magicians have to use this particular wood for a stick, and the distraction, the purpose of it. So knowing is half the battle. To come in, just the purpose. What are you talking about? Well, I'm going to use just like people. Well, I'm going to take my car and make it like a submarine. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm going to float in the water. Well, what are the purpose of a car? Well, my thought is, do you understand for land travel? You know what I'm saying? Can we start from that basic? You know what I'm saying? That come into the discussion, acknowledgement of what the purpose of this was. You know what I'm saying? Like these different organizations, people say, well, they sold individuals. Do you understand the purpose of these certain individuals? The purpose of media, the purpose of entertainment. You go. People say, well, man, I'm gonna talk this entertainment. You go look at the history of Rome. Rome would have a special gallery. When the games, the gladiators would fight, and the entertainers would be brought to a certain gallery detached from the people. There's a long history of different phenomena, of different entities that if we're going to, the deal is, as Minister U.E.P. Newton, that says that power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in desired manner. So the first step is to define it. Objectively. To come in and define it. And see, whether we're talking about the church, what was the purpose of the church? What was the intention of the church? You know what I'm saying? What's the, what I'm saying? And deal is, with imperialism, one of the characteristics of it is that it doesn't make up a complete lot out of it. It's a bloodsucker. It's a parasitical politic that takes dynamics from the colonized community and they flip it. In other words, what imperialism does is they incorrectly define phenomena and make it work in the disinterest of the people. Or whether it be that of spirituality, religions, whether it be that a question of music or hip hop, art, organization, the gun, and they incorrectly define it, and they flip it and make it work in the disinterest of the people. We're live and direct on Free Radio, Intellectual Radio. Those calling numbers are 929-477-3785. Press 1. Also 708-223-8953. Tonight, they're having a hearing about the home in Woodlawn, home of Emmett Till, the home that Emmett Till grew up in, about his landmark status. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock at Village Hall, the Village Hall, we'll be having the hearings in regards to the Hampton House of, get landmark status. We're also talking about the wall. Yes, indeed. That phenomenal place where you go through to get inspiration that, they come through that. Free them all to come right.
We have
of the hood hope on the line. Fremont.
Welcome to Fremont Radio.
I'm glad y'all hear me. How y'all doing?
Hey, keeping our heads up.
Fantastic.
Yes, indeed.
That's what's up, man. It's good to talk to my family. I couldn't make it the other day, but I've seen a lot of lives and pictures. Like you say, make history, take history, take history. Just for that reason, some people that wasn't there, they could still enjoy that, get that energy. And y'all putting out good energy on the show tonight. Salute, salute, salute. You know, I don't always tune in as we boots on the ground doing, attacking this stuff that's being discussed on the show. Because we being attacked. You fight back at night, you being attacked. So, yeah, I'm proud of y'all, man. I'm glad to tune in. And I got something heavy for you to chat on, too, bro. I want to talk about your father and the real rainbow. That's what I want to talk about. Because I see that time of global unrest. I'm seeing, and you just had a brother call in about the mirror. I was listening, brother. You said something about brown and black literacy. I was listening, brother. And so some people don't know about your father. Some people don't know about you. Some people don't know about me because they don't learn the day. I need to know about the rainbow, man.
You know, right on, not only for the call, right on for the continued support, being boots on the ground out there in the community, man, right on Hood Hope. The deal is I'm learning more and more that a lot of people, they're not familiar with the works of Chairman Fred. You know what I'm saying? That'll work. You know what I'm saying? The works that we that senior or junior, and it's no slight. It's not simply due to that of something that we're not putting out. Timing is important. The politics impacts individuals' hearing. There are certain things that are coming out now that, you know what I'm saying, like it's a climate, like like I told these students one time at this college campus, this university, they would say they just paid Smokey Robinson $80,000 and Kanye West $120,000 for black. That people thought they were free. Nixon came with the campaign for law and enforced them. You know what I'm saying? Trump, this era, there's certain dynamics that are necessary for people to grasp onto it. That's been happening all the time. We are the last call for alcohol. You know what I'm saying? The more, and it's a race and a class arrogance that permeates many of our people that you can't, you try to explain to them, they block it. They be like, oh, I know. You know what I'm saying? I've experienced this on the movie set. I've experienced this in conversation. I experienced this in dialogue. You know what I'm saying? It's a race and a class arrogance. They will not pull in any other entity. So you'll say, but the deal is, as Marcus Garvey said, when all else fails to organize the people, the conditions will. When all else fails to organize the people, the conditions will. So we're in a stage in the game now where people, a lot of people, you meet people, they say, oh yeah, it's like this. And, no distinguishment. That's what I tell people. I say, I feel so fortunate. That's what this mural, amongst others, is so important. Just to see, you know what I'm saying? And it's always, I remember the first mural we had, people was coming, oh yeah, what if we throw all our black leaders? I said, slow down, man. Could niggas have something? I said, could niggas have anything? Can we have anything? Every time we fight for self-determination, whether it be the white left, the petty bourgeoisie, Negro, attempt to come in and take it. We are fighting for self-determination. We fight on our own terms. We make our mistakes on our own terms. You know what I'm saying? And many people have never seen that. Many people have never seen the organization of the Black Panther Party. But I'll be damned if we yield and give up what I know about. Some of us have been fortunate. And then when people have the opportunity to say, okay, here you go right here, man. Let's make up for it. This stuff is so potent. This stuff is so powerful. It can put everything in context. What you mean everything? How you viewed men, how you viewed women, how you viewed yourself, how you viewed race, how you viewed the caste system, the class contradiction. This can make up for it. Well, no, man, somehow in my life that you had no idea about when I was a child. I'm trying to tell you, this Panther politics transcends time, transcends generational, geographical, and gender lines. It's outstanding. Now, if you want to miss it, because in many cases, it has to sit dormant. What you mean has to sit dormant? They knock his head off. If in certain cases, it has to be protected. I said I look back one time, I say one of the most genius moves after the California chapters of the Black Panther Party, I think it was Portland, other places, there were chapters that screen popped up. It had Chicago, Illinois popped up right behind it. The federal government had wiped it out before it was able to make certain moves. You need certain covering to get the conversation going. And you know what I'm saying? And again, to be able to relate to this, and you know what I'm saying? And again, and certain conditions, again, are necessary. See, you know what's a necessary ingredient to be educated? a humbleness. One time on some talk show, they asked Allen Iverson. They said, "Well, why would you be going? You're not going to college, but you want to take this contract from NBA to go straight to the NBA. You're not going to school." Allen Iverson say, "What can you tell me about a college that contends with a contract that's going to pay my sister's medical bills?" It was quiet. It was quiet. So there was no need. You could have told with college is this, and you have great courses, and we have a wonderful academic program. You sound like Charlie Brown teacher talking to him. Wop, 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 wop. You trying to, you know what I'm saying? The timing right now, it's certain conversations that we've had before. Pac needed this climate. Pac needed this organization. When you're in the midst of cats, what's the paper chase? Where the money at? Where the bread at? You're calling. I look back at that footage of Chairman Fred. I said, woo, that timing. That time. Where the conversation can be the value of is that Gucci? Who is that girl? Who is that girl? Who is this guy? Just trivial shit. The ante is up now. We in the climate now. Soon, motherfuckers are sticking and moving. And you had to seize the time. There was Chairman Fred talking about, you know what I'm saying? And we had this, and the deal is that dynamic to be able to relate. Motherfuckers couldn't understand some people coming and fight for, some people be so game conscious. You come to us some free breakfast, now they be game conscious with black folks. You couldn't even serve them. Man, for only like people talking about even this movie, Chairman, why don't you put your name in the front? I say if I put my name in front, you niggas gonna be like, man, I'm not watching that shit. I might catch a case watching that nigga. Now, in the near future, maybe we can up the ante, because you got to imagine a lot of people have it's an incorrect foregone conclusion is drawn that a lot of people have seen a black organization. They have seen black GMOs. In other words, fronts for white, you know what I'm saying? White people dictate. I'm talking some niggas standing up for self-determination. I'm talking some motherfuckers standing up saying, this is the chairman of the Black Panther Party. Well, the Mayor Daley, I said, this is the chairman of the Black Panther Party. This is Deputy Minister of Health for the Black Panther Party, Deputy Minister of Health, Doc Satchel. What did the CDC? Man, and he was up. And he was up. I'm talking about the point blank. This is the say the Hampton House Community Garden. The people's thing. Any attack on it, it's attack on the people, man. You know what I'm saying? It's confidence say, anybody trying to deprive you of a basic need, food, trying to kill you, whoever it be. Guys, how many badges and guns they got, whether you outgunned, whether you out-resourced, anybody trying to, of a basic need, what any is up. And you have to, you know what I'm saying? At some stage in the game where the rubber meets the road, the only thing we talking about is politicize you to the point that you can put it in context, not just the direct dynamic of who's challenging that, who is complicit with that. And are you ready to deal with those contradictions? Whether it be your mother, your father, your child, your lover, your friend, your homie, your alderman, your pastor, your imam, whoever it be that you are willing to come to the conclusion of drawing, as Minister U.E.P. Newton said, the final line demarcation. Who you with? The state of the people. That's the stage in the game. We on the heels of some reactionary times. The ante is being up. Every day we are confronting, acknowledging cases of police terrorism. Type of conversation, whether it be, you see a different, the ante be one. Look at the leaps that are being made. Look at the time frame reference. How you would happy to be engaged in the conversation about, can you get a football player another job as getting back on the plantation to be a quarterback, as opposed to now when you see NBA players come touch down at the Hampton House for a few hours, if that, not even a few hours, and you see the transformation, you see the change, you see the impact. Goddamn, the politics that we provide make a Jenny Jones commercial look like nothing. It's a different type of athlete. This sister talked about yesterday at the Chairman Fred Street Party. She told me when she first met us, she said, man, I come over there, I called Chairman and said, I got a young brother, his issues with him, you know what I'm saying? I said, okay, meet me out here out west. To this, now she came. Now, why I had him meet out west, she didn't understand that. But just saying, I said, give me some background on. I should teach. I said, okay, goodbye. She said, huh? I said, good day, sis. She looked around. I said, good day, sis. She had to be willing to leave him in my classroom. When I taught about this school, Freedom Home Academy, a lot of them children, they think they do what they do. Oh man, I'm going to the office. One young brother, he was running up this fake street credibility to these cats. He said, Chairman, if he take you to his office, he started walking to the school office. I said, no, keep walking. He said, well, keep walking. Where you going? School out? I said, school just finna start for you, young man. Keep walking. Hit that first door to your left. He went out looking for his mother. I said, she ain't there. Make a right. He said, hit that corner. Right down the street. Past the liquor store. Now, come on. Now we finna talk. When we got word, they talking about who gonna play Deborah Johnson in that movie, who gonna play Chairman Fred. We said, bring him in. Gotta see him. Oh, you can't get to me. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. When the red eye flights came into Chicago, settle down. We talking? I said, matter of fact, stop. You know what? Stop this conversation. Google. Type in, what's the worst neighborhood in Chicago right now? I'm talking about real time. I'm not talking about yesterday. Wherever it is. Type it in. Hey, Google it. They said, something just happened over in Garfield. 11 people shot on Madison and Carson. Let's go. Huh? Let's go. Then we gonna talk about who gonna play the role of Chairman Fred and Deborah Johnson. Let's go. 1 o'clock in the morning. That's where we at. To 3 a.m. in the morning. That's how this operates. You know what I'm saying? And the deal is they have to be willing. A lot of people, when they provide the opportunity, because they don't want to know, and the conditions provide for them not to know, the masses have to up the ante. You have to demand more. You'll see a different type of movie. You see a different type of Blackstone, different type of disciple, different type of vice lord, different type of relationship. Go check out what's happening now with these athletes now. And it's being upped. Prior to this, you go back, such and such is donating to such and such, and we have the Bill Cosby, Oprah Winfrey tax write-off. They do donate this to the black colleges and blah blah. They're gonna reproduce some more slaves. They're gonna fund them. They're gonna fund them. And they're gonna train some more motherfuckers to keep us running in a circle to engage in some more excursion and futilities. Well, what about this? Let's fight to demand that somebody is able to get back on a plantation. Well, how does it impact the community? No, this is going to just show us being, just a good symbolism of someone, say on a football field playing. No, but how does it benefit the community? That's the type of that. See, the Black Power movement in the 60s, it up the ante. It up the ante. Whoever it was, your mother, your father, Chairman Fred, talk about Larry Roberson, who was assassinated July 13, 1969 by Chicago Police Department while performing his duties as a member of the Panther Party, moving defense and self-defense. See, when the pigs rolled down to somebody in the community, he rolled down to see what's happening. They took Larry Roberson to the state. They assassinated Larry Roberson. Chairman Fred said Larry Roberson's position was, goddamn it, to the police, whether it be my mother, my father, whoever it be, I am going to serve the people. It was no opening. You have people come approach you with something and they see if any weakness in you. Dogs, they look for it. They smell it out. Any weaknesses. Pigs do it all the time. They sense it, looking for it. Whether it comes from anybody, ally or adversary. Certain forces, they know, no, this motherfucker's committed to this shit. If you want to put some skin in the game, they want to go all the way. Real talk. We live and direct, y'all. Talking about the landmark status here in the mall with Chairman Hampton House, talking about the hearing today for Emmett Till's home, talking about the phenomenal event for Chairman Fred's birthday, had he not been assassinated. What we did, August 30th also, we had convened at the Ground Zero. Then we moved to Madison, California, the wall. Then we had a caravan. We had an ongoing funeral procession with the flags on the cars and rolling, you know what I'm saying? People say, what year car that was you was riding that Chairman? I said, the same year Chairman Fred got took they hit Chairman Fred, 1969. Then we moved to the Hampton House. Then we rolled to the chairman, who's going to be known as the Chairman Fred Hampton Aquatic Center. And we say, now we're going to call for another autopsy, an independent autopsy. And the findings have come back that Chairman Fred lives. This came on the heels of a phenomenal dialogue with Attorney James D. Montgomery, Deborah Johnson, now known as Cool and Jerry, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., talking about the impact of Chairman Fred. His options he could have had, lawyer, whatever you name, whatever you know what I'm saying, could have been. But the sacrifice, as he said, I seen there were more people doing without. I decided to be, to serve the people. It was, that was his, how they say in church, that was his calling. That was his calling. You know what I'm saying? And if he did that, if he sacrificed, how dare anyone attempt to, to wait to the 99 shots, has eased back, or the Kodak smoke is faded away, to say, okay, let's come out of our hiding. Let's come out from up under the beds. Let's come up out of our cocoons, come up out of our ivory towers, and let's go co-opt them. Let's go kill them again. Shit, not on our watch. He made it very clear what he was, who he represented. We're going to respect that, and we're going to reflect that. We live and direct, y'all, making history, taking history, and taping history. How we looking on callers? Oh, shit, how my time looking now? Yeah, it was on the past 8:30, man. Okay. Yeah, I done got so proletarian, revolutionary, intoxicated, can't be astronomically intimidated. Okay, I know time went out, y'all, and I have not sat down yet. I am still on our revolutionary appreciation. Okay, so the comrade, we got. Okay, look for what is show number? Is it 773? Ooh, people, then callers and queue. Are we still online? Are we still in? Fremont, are we still online? Fremont, Sister Conrad. Look, we done fill up the air, y'all. We still standing. We gonna cub on out here, y'all. Been a phenomenal show, phenomenal event. Happy Chairman Fred Hampton Day to all those, that was there, directly, indirectly. You know what I'm saying? Those that watch and supported, y'all. We dropped the blog to radio. We will keep y'all posted, y'all. Revolutionary love, respect. It's an honor to serve. It's an honor to serve. Okay. Tomorrow, the hearing. Status. Historical landmark. I know I got some text now. I'm gonna give me a little rest. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna get a little rest. I'm going to corner, get a little rest. Nod out, y'all. I'm going back, give me, you know what I'm saying? Let me finish, get this grill, that barbecue. That's my stress release. Go back and do that. Eric Mobley, getting good to see you come through there today. Always, man, always an honor. Y'all keep your heads up, eyes open, and fists clenched, y'all. What's the call? Free them all. Fremont, let me meet you right back. Come in.
Okay, Chairman, I'll be waiting on.
Right on, Fremont. Yes, sir. Thank you for everything.